Vlog AD 209. J'espère que ça a mérité, enfin. I have been vlogging for over 10 years, as we've discussed. And if you'd have asked me when I started, like what I expected, I wouldn't have been particularly honest with you because I wasn't being honest with myself. It's a bit of a paradox, if you think about it, that in order, I really believe, to get the things that we want in life, we need to be able to articulate them, to be honest about them, and to be honest with ourselves. And maybe that's why it's taken me so long to get to a place where I feel like things might actually work out. My sister knows all this. She's been with me from actually day one when I was filming. She helped me do all my intro characters.
You smell like Grandpa.
Because I've been smoking a pipe. She's not here with me now. She's sleepy, so I let her sleep. But, you know, she'll be back with us in a second. The thing is that the story that I've always told publicly is the same one that I was telling myself. And it's not entirely untrue. When I started vlogging 10 years ago, I was really hoping that one of the projects that I was working on would take off, whether it was one of the books that I had, like out with the publisher, or a tech startup that we were putting together that would ultimately flop. Hang on a second. The story that I always told was that I hoped one of those things would take off and my vlog would capture that and obviously serve it and make for an interesting story, an interesting record of my life and my projects, as it were. But secretly, deep down, what I hoped that I wouldn't even admit to myself, let alone on camera, was that I hoped this would work out, that this would become something. Even though I didn't entirely know what that would mean or what that would look like. The thing is, or maybe it's the paradox, if you can't be honest with yourself and what it is you really want, what you're really hoping for, I don't really think you can have it. And it took me years to get to a place where I was even remotely honest with myself. How do I get out? What am I doing? It's a little bit like walking into a candy store and when somebody asks you, what would you like to have? And you really want candy, but feel a little bit self-conscious about it. Maybe you say, I'm fine. You end up with a bottle of sparkling water. And what you really wanted was like a giant lollipop. That's exactly what I've been doing for most of my life, not just with vlogging, but actually in so many elements where I'm like, what do I really want? I don't know what I want. I'm fine. And I'm not sure if it's entirely just lying to myself, my lack of self-worth, not knowing what I want. Maybe a combination of all of them, but it needs to change. Word, my sister is still asleep, and it's, well, it's noon now. She lives! Sugar for her tea. Cooper's not allowed to walk around in here. This is kind of fun. This is like a little butcher shop that got turned into a convenience store. So it still has like the really classy facade. And then variety of goods inside. Because they are woman receptive. Push on the door first, see if it opens. Oh yeah, then you have to sonner. Comment? Oh, and then pop, okay. Your happy place. These are nice.
Look at my flower now.
Your flower. Bonjour. Who isn't excited for playing with that time? My dad loves playing backgammon really this year, and we went searching and we couldn't find them anywhere. We ended up in like this toy store and got this set that's fine, but it's not as classy as the one that he has at home, which is very, very classy. And then my sister and I just walked into this place randomly to check it out. And like, look at this. It's got nice felt. They're beautiful. Almost as beautiful as this disco boot. Gonna get yourself a souvenir out of here somehow. You can take a lava lamp home. Sure, that'll make it in one piece. I'm surprised actually. This was a success. I don't know why I'm surprised. I just kind of am. Caffeinated and souvenired. Unfortunately, I have meetings, so we will reconvene for dinner. We're starting. Well, with at least a snack, maybe dinner. I wanted the spot that's in my passport, but I couldn't find my passport again. So I'm gonna have to go digging for that. I'm sure it's around. Great cocktails, delicious snacks, dirty lemon. Good, how are you? This is my sister, Carmen Ruba.
Did you get my nails?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the main thing, is the nails.
That's where you get comments. It's the nails.
Even it's illegal, but we won't say that. haven't actually been in Saint-Ambroise in a long time. I'm usually over here with Cooper, so it's kind of impossible. So let's go check it out. I haven't been in here, I think in like 8 years actually. Après à vous, madame. The thing about vlogging that really actually ended up unlocking for me, as much as I like deep down was hoping that it would mean that I mattered, like very quickly I was hopeful that it would turn into something that put me on the map, that made me someone, that changed everything, and it certainly did not do that by any stretch of the imagination, and definitely didn't become a thing for a long time. But it did give me, relatively quickly, after a few years at least, was a sense of creative freedom, like an ability to work for myself, especially even if I wasn't making much money. Where are you going, by the way?
I don't know. Desserts behind us. Do you want some dessert?
I don't, but you should grab one.
No.
No?
Keep talking.
Okay, but let's keep walking this way, see if we spot a spot. That place has got a screen. Yeah, we can see if there's an opening. And I think that's ultimately like what I didn't realize from the writing and the desire to make films, from so many of my dreams. At the root of them was really just wanting to be free and be able to like choose my own destiny as much as that's possible. And I didn't think that was going to happen through this, but I think I'm fortunate enough that it is. Just in time. Bonsoir. Vous avez la place pour 2 personnes? We've moved to a 5-year spot.
Les Sénégalais qui se sont créés les meilleures situations au cours de cette
Thanks to Michael Terry and all my patrons for being along for this whole ride, and I think that France won tonight. Spoiler alert. It's very fun to watch. We moved to a location with a more interesting vibe, but if there's one thing I would tell myself, I guess when I started, it is that you matter, and what validates you and where you're going to find that is inside yourself. It does not come from anything external, no matter what happens with your projects, with your vlog, with whatever. And that ties into the whole like keep going, like whatever it is that you're dreaming of, whatever it is that you're hoping for, keep pursuing that no matter what. But remember that, and this sounds cheesy, but remember that the real journey, the real like thing that you have to work on is what's inside. And I think that's what also grounds me in the moment with this book coming out, and that's all that it is about. So anyways, thank you for watching. And thanks to me for sticking with it, I guess. And thanks to my sister for coming to France.
Go France! Viva la France!
And yeah, they won just for her tonight, which was great. See you tomorrow.
No.